So, hello everybody. This week's topic is on loops, and what we're going to do is look at the two different types of loop that you get in Python: while loops and for loops. And we'll also look at a number of related topics such as the range function, loop counters, how they work, break and continue keywords, and how we nest loops, one loop inside another. So, what I mean by loops, well, basically, a loop is something that repeats over and over again. Lots and lots of programs need to repeat the same operation. For example, if you're playing a game, actually it'll be full of loops. They'll be updating the position of all the characters or the objects many times a second. If you're talking about a much more basic program like a cache point machine, it repeatedly takes customers through the same sequence of operations. So there's some sort of big loop going on there that's controlling. Each time a new customer happens, it does the same thing. So it's repeating the same operation. If you've got an MP3 player or something like that, or you're playing the streaming stuff online, the player will loop through a playlist. So it'll take each track and play it. And all of these things are achieved by loops in the program. So loop is basically just something that repeats the same operation, but it may be maybe the operation changes each time, but essentially it's repeating the same thing, and the stuff that happens inside the operation could be different each time, but it's being run over and over again. We'll see some examples of that. So loops are fundamental in programming. They're really important control structure. Python has two types of loop. It has the while loop, which is I think the simplest to understand. So we'll look at while loops first of all. But it also has the for loop, which is very straightforward and perhaps more commonly used. Python doesn't have do while loops, so you would encounter those in things like C and JavaScript. They're not. They haven't been adopted by Python. You can do them. There's ways around to get a do while loop. A do while loop is not very commonly used even in those other languages. It just means it's like a while loop, but it always happens once, so it always runs once, whereas a while loop doesn't have to run at all. Anyway, we're not going to deal with them because Python doesn't have them. We're going to start with a while loop.